It's day 2 of Vlogmas, and I'm sharing with you the project that I finally got finished, as well as the rest of everything that I crocheted in November. Hey, it's Tammy, Crafty Mompreneur. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not, well, welcome back. It's day 2 of Vlogmas, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the things that I finished up crocheting for November. Later on this month, I can just share with you everything that I crocheted during Vlogmas. I thought that would be kind of a cool way to kind of recap things. So I'm going to be filming like little snippets throughout Vlogmas for that final video. I think I have it scheduled for like the 24th. And so that video will recap everything that I crocheted during Vlogmas. That's the one where we're going to kind of talk about how much yarn I used. So I've kind of changed things up just a little bit. Today, I have about maybe 10 different crochet plushies to show you. Some of them are like projects that I finished that you may have seen in previous videos. There's a couple new ones that you haven't seen before. And yeah. So let's get this episode of Vlogmas started by sharing my shirt. My shirt of the day is this cute little puppy that says, "Oh, what fun." And guess what? This was actually a Christmas pajama shirt, but who cares, right? It's still a Christmas shirt and it's got a lab on it. I definitely got this pajama set because we have a yellow lab. So I was going through some of my shirts and might have to go thrifting for some because I was going through some of them, and of course, not taking into consideration that we started doing that Christmas party where we like bought Christmas pajamas and Christmas shirts and things like that when my daughters were like in elementary school. So not only were they tiny, but I think I was a little smaller then too, if you catch my drift. So not all the shirts are fitting right. So that's a topic we can talk about later after Christmas. If you guys want to do like, you know, a fitness challenge or something to kick off the new year, I'm totally down for that. But that's not what we're doing during Vlogmas. So enjoy your holiday season and, you know, take an extra walk here or there, or, you know, not have the second helping of stuff, you know, do that. But I'm all about moderation, and I'm probably going to clip this whole part out, but that's okay. I think my whole 15 years as a fitness coach is kind of sprinkling in. But yeah, we won't talk about that. The whole reason is some of my shirts are just not fitting right. I think I have maybe 15. There will probably be some thrifting going on in some of these videos where I'm going to be looking for some more shirts or sweaters or something, because I do like wearing Christmas like stuff. It's fun, but we're good for about 15 days, I think. So now let's get to what you guys really want to see, is what in the heck did I crochet the last couple, like, I guess it was like a week or so of November. What am I going to start with? Normally in these videos, I will save my favorite make till the end, but this is the holiday season, and so I want to share my favorite first. And you guys have already seen this one. So this is Rumi from the K-Pop Demon Hunters that I used the Friendly Red Fox's pattern, the doll pattern. It's free on her blog, and then she also has it in her Etsy shop. You don't want to find it on the blog. I have modded out a lot, and I've talked about these. I think I talked about these a little bit in the last video that I showed her. And so I won't go into too much detail about that, but I do also want to give a shout out to Greenfrog Crochet, because this is the big Rumi that I have, and I used her like kind of like color scheming that she used for these patterns to make my little modded out Friendly Red Fox ones. So I would say that this is a great pattern, just not out of blanket yarn, because like she's big and it took a lot of time. I personally like the little Rumis a little bit better. I will be charging like $45 for this one, whereas this one's like $65. This is one you've seen before. And I had started the next one, which is Zoe. I don't know if I showed her before, but I finished up Zoe, and hers are the little like space buns, and she's got like pants on. And I do the trick where you crochet into 2 rounds for the legs. So these are definitely like little sitting dolls. Their legs don't flop too much. They're definitely like ones to sit and carry. Like, it's like a little baby, you know? It's called the baby princess pattern, by the way. So here is this one. And the one I finished yesterday, I think I finished just this one just yesterday, is, is it Mari? Or what is her name? I can't remember her name. But she also has a lot of hair, and she has these little ponytail things. And then she's got her little like mini dress. And then she's got some detailing on her little half shirt. But yeah, so I did finish all 3 of these. And I need to get pictures taken of these and all of that, because I do want to take them to my market this week and see if they can find a home. But look how cute they are. Let's see if I can get a snapshot for the cover photo. Here we go. There we go. So these are my favorite makes that I have for this video. Aren't they just adorable? I love them. I mean, these aren't ones that I would keep for myself just because I haven't even watched the full movie. I watched part of it. So I don't have any like personal ties to these. So I do have these for my market, and I would really like to make another one of the little cats, but I bought a new pattern for a different version of the little cat that goes with these. So hopefully we'll see. We'll see if I can get that one made. Since I'm doing so many videos for Vlogmas, I am not going to try and like crochet a whole bunch of stuff, because if you guys remember all my inventory, I have a lot of plushies to sell. So I'm not really too concerned during Vlogmas to like max crochet. Am I going to be making some new things? Yeah, here and there. But we're just gonna we're not gonna try and like win any awards for most things crocheted during Vlogmas. And I'm really just gonna try and like make good videos that you guys will enjoy during Vlogmas. I got to the point that when I was crocheting these that I was ready to be done. When I got to her hair, I was like, oh my gosh, is the hair ever gonna end? And my youngest, she did mention, she's like, you know, you could make me a roomie for Christmas. And I was like, am I good? I go, do you want a roomie for Christmas? She's like, well, I don't know. So we'll see. I don't know if I will have time to do that, but we will see. That just tells me that my teenage daughter likes these dolls. So hopefully, I mean, it would be nice if they found homes at one of the markets this week. And then maybe for my 2-day market later this month, I would make another set, but we'll see. Next up, we have some Jellycat inspired Christmas trees from Crochet Calls. I did mention that little star on the tree was from Crochet Calls in day 1's video. If you want to watch that, if you missed it, you can catch it here. I will also be putting all of my Vlogmas videos into a playlist, so they will all be easy to find. So I ended up making 2 of the Christmas trees, and I love this one. This one is my favorite of the 2 that I made. This is a free YouTube tutorial, but once I made it, I went ahead and purchased the pattern, the PDF pattern for it, just because I like having the PDF, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was a Black Friday sale. So I did have a little bit of this white sparkle yarn left. It was in my scrap bin. And so I went ahead and used pretty much the rest of it. One thing that I will say is that this is the Spearmint Mystical, and it's a very soft yarn. And this sparkle yarn is more of the thick, kind of rough stuff. and it's definitely more thick than the Mystical. And so when I put these white parts on, it was not laying flat. It wasn't, I don't think it was doing what it was supposed to do. So my recommendation is you definitely use yarn of the same weight for this, because this was the, I used the technique that she had to make this part. And then these two, I think I just single crocheted around. I didn't do like the slip stitch chain thing that she has you do for this one. And I actually had to go back and tack these down because they were kind of flipping up a little bit. And so I just tacked them down with the green yarn so that they wouldn't flip up. And I think it looks really super cute. The only thing that I really don't love about this pattern is that I think I did this right. But you put the eyes on this bottom part and it's not attached like to the trunk. So I don't think my eyes would have gone through both things, and then it would have looked funny. But I do put like the felt underneath the little things there. And I think what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm going to do is just put some hot glue around that so it's not pokey. I've heard some people will melt these to make them flat, but I've heard that destroys the integrity of the eye. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I've heard. So I think I'm just going to put some hot glue to make those. But these are super cute. The legs are crocheted into the round. And I think I sewed this on. I think in the pattern, I think she might say that you just set this on, but I wanted to sew it on, so I did. And yeah, I want to make one where it's all green and then just the star, but I did not have time to do that. So if these two sell, or if one of them sells at my market, I will make another one for my Christmas market, but we'll see. I wanted to have two, so I asked my oldest daughter what color I should do next, and she suggested I do red. I'm not sure I love it, but I mean, it's still cute. And for this one, I also did tack down the little these things. What are these rows? The garland, whatever. I did tack these down because they were kind of flipping up a little bit. She does have a version where it's all one color, like you don't change color, and so this would just be the color of the tree. I did consider doing one of those, or maybe pink or something. Might be cute too. But yeah, hopefully, because Jellycats are popular, I hope that these will sell. And for these, I'm thinking probably like 25-ish or so. I'm going to set them next to my little minties, the little minty Jellycats. And those I got 24 for. So we'll have to just see. They'll be in that mid-20 range for one of these. So yeah, we've got two of these little Jellycat Christmas trees. This next one is a pattern that I think I showed the pattern before. I don't know if I actually had made it though. Maybe I did and I didn't finish it. I don't know. But I did end up kind of finishing the little boot ornament from Dear Little Dudley. I'm not like a Western-ish, like, so I don't know all of the like things to put on here, and I was gonna try and like decorate the boot a little bit, but I wasn't sure what to do. So I just ended up finding some twine in amongst my craft supplies and put the little ornament thing on it. I'm not sure what I would charge for these. I'm guessing like maybe $8 for these. It was kind of fun to make, but you just, the only thing that was a little bit tricky is making the little boot like indentation, and that's just like yarn to make that indentation. And then again, coming up with some sort of design for the boot, because I mean, you can embroider things on the side of them or whatever, but I just ended up doing like just lines on the side. But this is a cute pattern, and I would like to be able to make a couple more, but I'm not sure I'll get to it. So for now, I'm going to put it on our tree, and then I'll decide later if I want to make a couple more. I don't know if I'll just take one to a market though. I don't know. I think I just wanted to make something different, like that I hadn't made in a while. And I got out my Premier Plush and Parfait Plush. Premier Plush? Parfait Plush. It's Parfait Plush. My Parfait Plush and Sweet Snuggles light yarns. And I ended up making 2 of these little turtles. And this is the Meg's Makes Patterns turtle. And these are the ones that I have to kind of finagle it a little bit so that it doesn't fall forward. Let me put it on something flat and show you. So a lot of times when you make this pattern, it falls forward like that. But I've figured out a way to make it so it sits flat and doesn't do that. I mean, if you like push it that way, like it will a little bit, but for the most part, I've been able to finagle it a little bit so that it doesn't do that. And I think the key is to make sure this bottom is super flat. And then when you're sewing this head onto the turtle shell, kind of tack it in a little bit right here, and then tack this in a little bit like here, so that you're kind of in like giving little indentations like that. And that will really help it to stay so it's not falling forward. If you don't, here's the other one I made. So that's really the key, is to make sure that that's indented and that is indented. Does that make sense? And so when I do that, these are made out of, this one is Parfait Plush on both, I think. And then this one is Sweet Snuggles Light. So I think what I'm going to do is, because for whatever reason, like, I don't know, I've only sold one Myrtle the Turtle. And I think I had it for 16. So, and I was making it out of Premier Basics Chenille Brights. So I don't know, but when I have these, like I sell them for, I think 12, because they're pretty quick. And I sell them for 12, and they've like, I can't keep them in stock. So I already have this one sold. Somebody actually messaged me on Instagram and was like, do you have any turtles that are, you know, about 6 inches? I will probably make a couple more turtles just because I know that they will sell, and they're pretty quick to make. And as much as I don't like batch making, I can probably get like, I don't know, several made in a day. Maybe I do that as my market prep challenge for before my big show, before my 2-day show, where I see how many of these like small turtles I can make in a day. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. That's an idea. I know that one of my videos during Vlogmas, maybe 2 of them, will be market prep challenges. So anyway, that is my tip about the turtles. I have probably shared that in videos prior, but you know, not everybody goes back and watches all the videos. So if you've found my channel recently, that's a tip for you. Anyways, and this pattern, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, you make the head, and then you make the shell, and then you crochet the head in, and then kind of do the underbelly. And then at the end, you close it up, you tack that down, like you tack that to the shell. And then, like I said, I like pull these in using the yarn so it's flat. And so I think I've timed myself making these, and I think I can make one in between 30 and 40 minutes. So for $12, it's not too bad. I could probably go to 14 on these, but I think we'll stick to 12, maybe 14. But I think that it's a good size for a $12 turtle. I was able to get one Snoozing goose made. So this is the Crochet free pattern on Instagram. And before I had found the rest of my gold yarn, I thought I was going to run out. So These legs are a little bit shorter than they're supposed to be, but I don't think it matters. And then they've got the little snoozing goose, snoozing eyes. I don't know what it was, but when I was doing these eyes, I was struggling. Like, they would not go right. But finally, I got them to look pretty decent. And then I wanted to do 2 of these, but I did not. I only did 1. But that's okay. That is okay because I have a lot of inventory to get rid of. So I am not worried about not having anything to sell at my markets this month. I don't know why people just love these. I still haven't made one in a mallard version. Maybe I should do that. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, we only have 2 more things to show you. And this one is really the only one that's completed. The other one is still in progress, but I did finish my little puppet. So I got all the fur put on his hat. Like everybody was like, yes, definitely put the fur on the hat. So I got that done, and then I had fur to put on his other arm. And then I also put it around his neck. See that? So I was gonna put some at the bottom, but then I'm like, no, that's enough. That's enough, because at this point I don't even know what I would sell this puppet for, because it was a lot of work. So I'm not even sure if I am gonna sell it actually. Maybe, I don't know. I'll ask you guys, what would you pay for this puppet? I don't know. It's cute though, but it's done. Why is that doing that? Oh, wait. No, I don't really think it needs more. I don't think it needs any more of this. I was going to add some more, another row of these, but I don't really think it needs it, honestly. Because then you wouldn't even see his little nose. I might put some blush on him though. Maybe some rosy cheeks. I don't know. I think it's good enough because I'm probably not going to get the money out of it anyways, that in the time. This light, the lights, it's the light. Anyways, what I was saying before my light went out again is that if I decide to sell this, I'm not going to probably get the amount of money that it actually took, like, to make it, as far as the time involved. So I don't think I'm going to put any more details on it. Now, I did consider just keeping it, but I don't know. So tell me what you guys think. What, like, you can see how big it is. Like, it's just the size of like a puppet, right? How much would you pay for one of these like puppets? Like, I almost feel like it's more something that you make like gifts and stuff rather than to sell. But if you guys have ever made these puppets by, it's by Natty Toys. Let me know like what you could charge for them, or if you've ever sold them or made them and sold them. Let me know. I don't know. This was one of the things that you guys suggested to make to see how they work up. I forgot how much I liked puppets. I used to, I made my daughters like a little puppet when my daughters were little. I made them like a puppet theater that we put on the door. And then I bought like all kinds of little puppets for them to play with. But I don't even know, like, do kids really play with puppets anymore? Like, I don't know. They had fun with it though. They loved that puppet theater. So anyway, so this is my last like full like completed project for November, but I have one more thing to show you, and that is I finally bought some more dowels. So I was able to finish the holly for my little holiday bouquet that I'm making for myself. Again, I'm making something for myself, but here's the poinsettia, and now we have the holly. And then the only last one that I need for this like bouquet is the white flower. So I'm hoping to get that completed sometime during Vlogmas. So it's coming together. So now at this point in the video, if you have not opened your AllFromJade Advent Calendar door yet for December 2nd, make sure that you pause this video and go and do that now, because we're going to be opening that door next.
Okay, so I am toying with the idea of making this little reindeer, but not making the sweater. Here's my problem is I don't have the right colors for Parfait Plush, and I don't have Parfait Chunky. So I'm thinking of using Demi Pearl, but the red is not redding. So I'm thinking of just making it in these three colors and not doing the shirt and making it more like Rudolph. So, and then maybe just giving him a little belly that is the white. Because that's kind of what Rudolph looks like. So that's what we're going to do, I think. And pretty sure I'm going to be able to use up this final skein of that demi pearl. So this might be the first skein of yarn that we complete during the Vlogmas. Okay, so I thought I would time myself and see how long this took, and I just reviewed the pattern, and I've already wasted a couple minutes here this morning. So we're already at like 5:22. And I'm gonna guess I won't finish this until like 7 because there's got to be coffee breaks and things like that too. But we're gonna see if we can finish this thing by 7, which will hopefully still give me time to finish editing day 2 of Vlogmas, and we'll just see how it goes. I have decided to not do color changes and just do a solid colored reindeer. If I feel ambitious, I might put the no, I'm not going to. I don't think I'll do the belly patch. We'll see. I may do the, oh gosh, I cannot talk and crochet. Good God. Okay, let me try this again. I don't think I'm going to put the belly patch. I'm going to just change my mind there because I'm trying to finish this the same day. Like I literally just opened the, did I just do that again? Holy crap. Clearly, this is not single increase. Okay. Anyways, I am not going to do the color changes for the sweater. I'm just going to make it a single colored reindeer. That way, if you guys are thinking about making it, you will see what it looks like if you don't put a sweater on it. And I'm using demi pearl. And I just don't remember if I think I need to increase there. Because this is what I used for the splooting deer, and it was really cute. So we're just gonna go with that, and I know I have enough because I bought some more. So it's gonna be bigger, but hopefully it will sell at one of my markets this week. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it. Let's count these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, darn. We're going to just go ahead and do another increase right there because we just need to have 18 stitches. I think I did that yesterday too on the ladybug. Okay, so we are going to crochet a little bit on time lapse, and then I will come back and show you some progress in a little bit. Okay, I thought I would stop here and just, for those of you that are making this, and if you've never attached ears, this is, how I do it. You just leave your crochet hook on your whatever, your yarn on your crochet hook. Insert your hook into your ear and then go into the plushie and complete your single crochet. And I just like to crochet over that yarn tail. And this one calls for 3 single crochets through the ear. So you just flatten the ear and make sure you go through the 3 top stitches like that. And then we're going to get one more in there. I love no-sew pattern. So there's one ear. And then we have to go 10 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then it says to attach the other ear. So we will do the same thing. Flatten this guy out so you can get through your 3 stitches. And then put the ear on your hook. Put your hook through the next stitch. And then I always like to make sure this one is pulled tight. Then insert it in. And then go into the stitch. And I like to crochet over that yarn tail. The pattern tells you to weave in your end, but I like to just crochet over it and then tie it to the other one. That's what I like to do. Let's see if I'm right here. I should have 7 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so there is, oh, he's going to be a big boy. That's okay though. It's going to be cute. And we are going to finish off this head. And then when I make some progress on the body, I will check back in. Right now, it's like 5:42. So this has been about 20 minutes. It would have helped if I wouldn't have messed up and missed a complete single, like I missed a whole row of increases. So that would have definitely affected the way it looked. So I had to go back in and change that. So yeah, sometimes there's just mistakes, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to finish this and I'll check back in later. Okay, so I forgot to charge my iPad, so I'm going to have to use my phone to look at the pattern. So I'm not going to be recording any clips of making the body because I need to look at the pattern. But here is where we're at with the little guy so far. I guess, let me show you. I use the just safety eyes off of Amazon for the most part. And because the eyes come with such little backs, I put a piece of like felt or something like that in between the plushie and the, backing because they are so small and I don't want them to pull through. And I feel like that just makes them a little more secure. And I know I've said this in numerous videos, but I thought I'd share that tip for this one. I'm going to try and share like a tip a day when I'm showing crochet plushies. So hopefully that's helpful. So I'm going to work on the body. And again, I'm just making it a solid color. I'm not going to do the color changes like the pattern says. And we're going to see if we can get through the body pretty quickly. So wish me luck. I'll check back in when my iPad's charged a little bit. All right, so that little bit of demi pearl yarn made a head. I just have to close it up. And one of the arms. So I'll start a new skein and see how much of that one I use. Okay, my iPad is still not charged yet, but here is where you're supposed to change to the shirt color, but I am just going to go with the full body color of this because I'm just making it look like Rudolph. And I decided against doing a white belly because I don't have time for that this morning. I'm trying to get this done by 7 and I only have like 30 minutes left, but I feel like I just need to crochet up and then attach the arms and then sew the head to the body and make the antlers in 30 minutes. I don't think so. So I guess stay tuned and see how long this actually takes me to finish. But right now I need to go get more coffee, so there's that. Okay, it's a little after 7 and I finished both of the antlers and the body. Oh my gosh, look at this mess. We're wrapping presents. Ugh. Okay, anyways. So now I just have to sew the head to the body and sew the antlers on, and this will be done. I might, oh, I gotta close that up too. I might make it a scarf. If I feel inspired, I might make it a scarf if I feel it needs something. So stay tuned for the final result. Okay, I finished. It took me about 2 hours, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. That is with breaks and stuff too. I like I said, I didn't do the color changes. I made it just like Rudolph, and then I felt like it needed something else because without the scarf, he just looked kind of bare. So I crocheted a chain of 45 and then half double crocheted back, and then I added this little pipsqueak yarn on one side of it. I thought if I did on them both, it wouldn't show enough of the green. So I think it's super adorable, and this is what your little free reindeer pattern from the Wonder Crochet will look like if you decide to not do the color changes on the sweater. I did do a little bit of face shaping, but overall this pattern is super beginner friendly, I would say. I think the only tricky part is maybe making these, but it's not terrible. These you crochet into the round. You do have to sew the head to the body, but the arms are crocheted in, and then her technique for crocheting the legs. I think I do. There was, I think, a little bit of a hole. Yeah, I might stitch. See the, I need to stitch through the in between the legs a little bit, but I did use demi pearl yarn, and this is parfait plush. This is demi pearl in the green, vibrant green maybe. And like I said, this is pipsqueak, and then mahogany and cork. So yeah, and I think these are 20, I think, millimeter eyes. And I used a 7mm hook. So this is the day 2 of Jade's AllFromJade's Advent Calendar. So this is a free tutorial on the Wonder Crochet's blog. She also has a free YouTube tutorial, which I will link in the description box. But there is no PDF. I looked for one and I could not find one. So you just got to deal with the ads. I generally like to buy the PDF pattern just because it takes me a lot longer with the ads to, you know, when they pop up on my iPad is older, and so it kind of just slows me down. But I went ahead and just used the pattern on her blog, and it was fine, but I think it did slow me down a little bit. So I do think this is a project you can probably do in about, and depending on how quickly you crochet, between an hour and a half to 2 hours is my guess. But yeah, super cute.
So that is going to do it for day 2 of Vlogmas. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. But these always... But these are in the time. This light. The lights. It's the lights, man. For today, December 20, 27. Okay. Try again. I'm gonna try again. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna sell you. Yeah. No, don't sell me. Okay. Maybe not. I don't know. Should I sell it? Should I keep it? I don't know. For day 2 of vlog. Why do I keep doing this? That's 4. 2. Okay. So that is going to do it for day 2 of Vlogmas. Oh my God.